this is Jodi. Thanks for joining me. My quick and creative card to share with you today is using the new stamp set Bohemian Borders. I just wanted to pull in a few other stamps that cards rather, that I've made with this set. This one uses a little border here as well as the Bohemian coordinated designer series paper. I have a whole separate video on this. Make sure you check it out because I showed a very cool tip on how to use the new banner triple punch to get these extra pieces and make that flower. So that's a whole nother video to check out. Here's another card using some of the different pieces in the Bohemian Borders. And then the one I'm going to show you step by step today is this one right here. So let's go ahead and get started. I put a few of these images here on one of my clear blocks all together. So there's 3 separate stamps, but I'm using it as one image with this card today. So my card base is crumb cake. It's 8.5 by 5.5 inches. And I'll just fold that in half for the base. And then I'm also using crumb cake ink. And I'll just tap this on here. It's kind of hard to tell with the crumb cake to make sure it's inking evenly. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the image here, give it some good pressure, and then re-ink and line it up, which is easy to do with photopolymer, and stamp right next to it. So I've just kind of created a little bit of a background on my card there. Again, with all photopolymer stamps, you do want to make sure you clean that right away. So I'm just rubbing it on the wet side of my scrub pad and then the dry side. And I will take those off and put them away later. Okay, so now I get to show you this very cool banner triple punch. It's a new Stampin' Up! Punch, and it's super fun, handy to have around. I've got some different pieces from the Bohemian Designer paper. So I'm going to start with this one. This is 1 inch by 4 inches. I'm going to slide it in this slot here and all the way back. Now you notice this is a 1 inch here. The next section here is 1.5 and then 2 inches. So I can have paper at any of those widths to punch my banner. So I just punch down in there, get the nice banner ending. So that's going to go on there. Now this little one, I can certainly put in here. The difference with this is that it's a little easier to wobble because it doesn't have that firm side on it. So I'm going to do my best to hold it in there straight. Back all the way is the key. Pop it down. Let's see how I did. Pretty good. And that's something, you know, you could use your scissors on that, but it's just so handy to have this. I've sold a lot of these in the last few weeks, and my customers have told me over and over, it's just so handy to have, to slide the paper in, pop it out really quick, and not have to worry about doing it with scissors and trying to make it even. This is another piece. Make sure it's back all the way. This one is 1 inch by 5 inches. I'm going to pop it on that side, then I'm going to turn it and pop it on this side as well. So now I've got my double banner here, and that's going to go right there. These little pieces that are left afterwards, this is what I was referring to in that other video I did. This is what I used to build that flower, so check that out. Okay, this is a piece of very vanilla. It's 1 inch by 5 inches, and I'm going to slide it in there, pop my end, slide the other way, and pop that end as well. Okay, I'm going to scoot this out of the way. We're all done with that punch. And I think I'm going to go ahead and stick these down. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. And we'll set that one down first. And then this little piece. I'm just going to kind of space it here so I know how far over to put it. And down just a little bit, that should be good. And then this one here goes right over both of them. Put it up just a little bit. Okay, so this part, this focal point right here with the hello is pretty cool. So we have new Thinlits. They're called Greetings Thinlits, and there's a thanks, cheers, and hello. You could use any of these. I'm just going to pull the hello out like I have in the sample. And I'm going to pull my big shot in so you can see exactly how I'm doing this. I'm going to set this piece. The one thing I don't think I mentioned, when, like, I want my final piece here to have 4 inches in length. When I use that banner triple punch, it takes a 1/2 inch off each end. Those pieces that it punches off are pretty big. You know, you've got a 1/2 inch here on each end. So I cut this to be 1x5, knowing that I wanted the final product to be 1x4. So I'm setting that on here, and I'm going to position the Hello framelit just a little bit at an angle like that. So I'll crank it through the Big Shot. And now it cut this out. So I'm going to carefully peel this out. Now what most of the time you would do was use your little paper piercing tool, pop that out. You could use probably the end of a scissor here, maybe. Piercing tool works great, but you pop this out and use the hello on a card. What I'm doing for this particular card is using this, the negative of what I cut out. So the next thing I'm going to do is put adhesive on these more solid parts, a little bit down here, and stick this right onto a piece of Bermuda Bay. This cardstock is also 1 inches by 5 inches. And I'll just set it right on there. And then what I'm going to do is just use my scissor and cut this. I could stick it in the punch, but this way just makes sure that I'm not getting, you know, it's just easier to make sure it's lined up the way you want it so that there's not an uneven punch. Okay, then all I need to do is add a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals to the back and add it to my card. So just kind of a fun way to use the new framelits and kind of use the negative of the greeting that it cuts out. I hope you've enjoyed this quick and creative card. Thanks for watching. For daily creative inspiration or to place an order, visit my blog. You can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram.